A recent rumor has caught the attention of Raider Nation, Keenan Allen potentially landing in Las Vegas. This buzz started with an article from Yardbarker suggesting the Raiders should consider adding the veteran Pro Bowl wide receiver before training camp. And while nothing's official, let's talk about whether there's real smoke here or if it's just off-season chatter. Now, Allen has been loosely linked to the Raiders throughout the offseason. His name came up often back in March and again as the 2025 NFL Draft approached. Why? Because there are real connections between Allen and the Raiders organization, relationships that can't be overlooked. Here's the breakdown. Yardbarker points out that even though the Raiders drafted 3 wide receivers this year, Jack Beck, Dontavion Wicks, editor's note, original script said Dante Thornton Jr., unclear if accurate, we can confirm names if needed, and Tommy Mellott. Adding a proven veteran like Allen could make sense. Right now, Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker are projected starters, joined by tight end Brock Bowers, who led the team in receiving yards last season with 1,194. The depth behind them includes Alec Bachman, Christian Wilkerson, Jeff Foreman, and others. So, should the Raiders bring in Keenan Allen? Let's weigh both sides. Why signing Allen makes sense. Veteran presence. Allen brings leadership and experience to a young receiving core. Familiarity with the coaching staff. He has connections that could ease the transition. Immediate production. If the rookie receivers aren't ready, Allen could step in and contribute right away. Why it might not make sense. Crowded room. After drafting multiple wideouts, the Raiders may want to see what they've got before adding another name. Cap space and flexibility. Waiting until closer to camp gives the front office more flexibility if other needs arise. For now, passing on Allen seems like the right move, but keeping the door open makes even more sense. Let us know what you think. Type S for sign or P for pass. Should the Raiders pursue Keenan Allen? Let's dig deeper into the Keenan Allen conversation and why his name keeps surfacing in connection to the Raiders. First off, there's a strong coaching connection. Allen has a history with Raiders wide receivers coach Chris Beatty. The two worked together with the Chargers from 2021 to 2023. When Beatty moved to Chicago, Allen followed, signing with the Bears in 2024. That kind of familiarity matters, especially for veteran players adjusting to new systems. And let's be clear, Keenan Allen is still producing. In 15 games last season, he hauled in 70 catches for 744 yards. The year before, over 100 receptions. In 2022, same story. He's consistently reliable, a player you can trust on third down, in the red zone, or when a drive needs a spark. Even rookie quarterback Caleb Williams leaned on him as one of his top targets. What makes Allen especially intriguing is how well he fits with a precision passer like Geno Smith. Allen is a savvy route runner who knows how to get open. Sure, he's had some drops, but his football IQ and route discipline make him a great match for an accurate quarterback. Here's the kicker. He grew up a Raiders fan, and while that doesn't guarantee success, playing for the team you rooted for as a kid can bring a little extra fire. That kind of motivation isn't easy to manufacture, but despite all of that, signing Allen right now might not be the best move. Here's why. 1. Age and durability. Allen isn't the same player he was 5 years ago. He's missed 11 games over the past 3 seasons. That doesn't include games where he played through nagging injuries. If the Raiders are building for the future, not just trying to win today, it may be wiser to invest in younger players who can grow with the team over the next few years. 2. Short-term fit. At this stage of his career, Allen would likely be a 1-year option, a prove-it deal. That doesn't align with a long-term rebuild or youth movement. It's more of a win-now move, and it's unclear whether the Raiders are in that position just yet. 3. Run-blocking concerns. According to Pro Football Focus, Allen posted a 31.6 run-blocking grade last season, one of the lowest among wide receivers. That's a red flag for a Raiders offense that's looking to stay versatile and committed to the run. Guys like Brock Bowers, Jack Beck, Jacoby Myers, and Trey Tucker are all strong run blockers. Adding Allen could tip off defenses that a pass is coming. Not ideal. 4th, contract dynamics. There's also the matter of Jacoby Myers. If the Raiders bring in Allen, it could complicate things with Myers, who's reportedly seeking a new contract. While Myers isn't the type to hold out or cause distractions, Adding a high-profile receiver could send the wrong message inside the locker room. Bottom line, Keenan Allen is still a talented receiver. But right now, the Raiders might be better off evaluating their young talent, developing chemistry, and keeping cap flexibility heading into training camp. Do you agree? Should the Raiders sign Keenan Allen or pass and keep building for the future? Type S for sign or P for pass in the comments. In a locker room that values leadership and consistency, Jacoby Myers stands tall. He's respected. He's dependable. And if the Raiders name team captains this fall, don't be surprised to see him wearing a C on his chest. That's why bringing in Keenan Allen, especially at a salary north of $11 million, could raise some eyebrows. Not because Allen isn't talented, but because rewarding an outsider before extending key veterans like Myers or Colton Miller might send the wrong message. Financial priorities matter, especially to players who've earned their place in the building. Then there's the youth movement. The Raiders' wide receiver room is quietly loaded with upside. Jack Beck is turning heads. Dante Thornton Jr. has home run potential as a deep threat. Tommy Mellott, an underdog with dual threat versatility, is worth a closer look. And don't sleep on Kyle Phillips, who might bring more to the field than people realize. He's a gamer. So before signing a veteran like Keenan Allen, the Raiders need to see what they already have. Rookie minicamp, OTAS, training camp. That's the proving ground. And the more reps these young wideouts get with Geno Smith, the better chance the team has of finding its next breakout star. And that brings us to Jack Beck. This may sound bold, but Jack Beck might be the very reason the Raiders hold off on signing Keenan Allen. He's impressed this offseason, not just in terms of production, but with his mindset. He's earned respect. And if you've been watching the Raiders report every day, this shouldn't come as a surprise. Before we dive deeper into the Bech hype, a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Panda Sups, a company owned and operated by a die-hard Raiders fan. If you're like me and always pushing to be 1% better, whether it's for a wedding, honeymoon, or just to beat the summer heat, Panda Sups has you covered. I use their premium protein, BCAAS, creatine, and fat burners every day. Use code GENTY for 25% off at pandasups.com. Link in the description. Now, let's get back to Bech. Some media outlets are overlooking him entirely. In fact, Yardbarker recently listed the Raiders' wide receivers and had Trey Tucker penciled in as a starter opposite Jacoby Myers. Respectfully, I disagree. If you've been following camp updates closely, you'd know that Jack Beck may already be ahead of Tucker on the depth chart. Myers is locked in as the number one receiver, but Bech, he's making a strong case as the number one. 2. Trey Tucker's explosive, no doubt, but Bech brings more to the table. Reliable hands, physicality, and a willingness to block. He's not just catching passes, he's out there trying to run through defenders. That edge, that toughness gives him a leg up in an offense built on versatility and grit. So if the season started today, Jack Beck wouldn't just make the roster. He'd be your WR2. And Keenan Allen, he might not even be necessary. The Raiders' pecking order is starting to take shape. Brock Bowers will be the primary option in the passing game. Jacoby Myers remains the trusted veteran at number 2. But who's next? Right now, the smart money's on Jack Beck. Yes, Trey Tucker and Michael Mayer will both see their share of targets. And sure, you could make a case for Dante Thornton Jr. or even Tommy Mellott sneaking into the rotation. But Beck is standing out, and not just on the field. He's setting a tone. He's the kind of competitor who flashes early, the kind who reminds longtime observers of what Max Crosby did his rookie year. No, Beck isn't rushing the quarterback. But the reports coming out of minicamp describe him the same way Max was described. Relentless, fearless, and clearly ahead of the pack. One team source described Beck as a sicko. And that's a compliment. He's got that Raider mentality. He's got juice, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. So here's the truth. The only reason to go after a player like Keenan Allen is if confidence fades in Bech and this young receiver group. But as it stands today, Bech is one of the biggest winners from minicamp. He doesn't just catch passes, he brings a level of physicality this offense needs. Raiders assistant GM John Spytek has made it clear, this team wants to play with violence, and Bech fits that mold. Keenan Allen is still a technician. He's polished. But at 34 years old and looking to stay healthy, he's not going to bring the same energy in July that Bech will. And that energy, it shows up on tape. And in the numbers, Beck earned a 74.5 run blocking grade from Pro Football Focus last season, 13th best among Power 5 wide receivers. That's a telling stat for a team looking to balance air and ground. And it's why, right now, there's no rush to sign Keenan Allen. Give Beck more reps, give him May, give him June, let him grind through July. Then, if he can't hang, that's when you look to a veteran like Allen, not before. So here's the question. How many receiving yards will Jack Beck have in 2025? My projection? 43 catches, 602 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Roughly 14 yards per catch. And before you say that's not a lot, think about the balance in this offense. I believe Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers could both top 1,000 yards. Behind them, you could realistically see 3 or 4 more pass catchers, including Beck, Mayer, and Tucker, each breaking the 500-yard mark. Add in the production of Ashton Jeanty on the ground, and you've got a well-rounded attack. For a rookie wide receiver 3 who's also the wide receiver 4 in the overall pecking order, 602 yards is a strong debut, and it's just the beginning.